Hello.
Good morning, Chaitra.
Good morning, sir.
So, today we'll continue with TOEFL grammar. Okay?
Okay.
So, I'll send the PDF.
Yes, sir.
Now, you can open the link and scroll down to page 46. Page 46.
Okay.
So, grammar point 12, participle adjectives. Right?
One moment, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, can you read the first sentence? Just the part of the first sentence.
It is sometimes important to describe a noun in relation to other nouns
Okay.
how it
Okay.
affects them.
So, what we're doing is we are continuing with adjectives, right?
Yeah.
So, we'll go over it now. Grammar point 12, participle adjectives, right?
Yes.
So, you remember what an adjective is? An adjective is a word which describes a noun, especially a common noun, right?
Yes, sir.
And what is a participle? You have two types of participles, right? One is called the present participle, okay? And the other is called the past participle.
Past participle.
Yes. And you
Present
remember this?
participle is also called gerund, right, sir?
Yeah, that's what we'll see. So, the present participle is also known as the ing form because
Okay.
if you add ing to any verb, okay,
Sir, you had told once that it is gerund something, right, sir?
it is a gerund, but gerund is one which acts as a subject or object. Here it's describing a noun. A gerund, see, for example, if I say running is a good exercise, okay, running forms the subject of the sentence, right?
Yeah.
And running has got two parts. The verb run, okay, plus
Yeah.
ing. Hmm?
Yes.
And so that forms the subject or object of the sentence. Okay? A good exercise is running. There it forms the object of the
Object.
sentence. Okay. So a gerund acts as a subject or object. It acts as a noun. Nouns come in the beginning or end of a sentence. Okay.
Okay.
But the participle, as it's called, it describes a noun. Okay.
Yeah. Participle
Running.
adjective describes the noun.
So running, I will say, shining sun, right?
Sir?
We'll use another example, shining sun, right?
Okay. Shining is a participle. It is describing the sun.
Yes, that's right. So, okay. So there it's acting as the same participle, it's acting as an adjective, right?
Yeah.
So, as I was saying, we have two types of participles. One is the present participle, which ends in ing, okay, and the other is a past participle. Can you fill us in on the spelling of the past participle, Chaitra? What are the five common the past
ED,
participle? Yes.
NT,
Okay. So the past participle ends in. No,
N.
I'll tell you. Okay, I'll remind you. So the past
Okay.
participle ends in D, ED, N, EN, or T. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we have those two types of participles. Now we'll read what is in the text. Right?
Yeah.
It is sometimes important to describe a noun in relation to other nouns in how it affects them or how they affect it. Okay?
Okay.
In this situation, verbs can easily be changed to adjectives. Right? So
Okay.
just now we spoke about how we can change run, the verb run,
Yeah.
into running,
Running is present participle.
and shine. The sun shines. Shine is a verb. You can change it into an adjective like shining, shining sun.
Okay.
So verbs can easily be changed to adjectives. They're called participial adjectives. Okay?
Okay.
The trick to understanding participial adjectives is to remember what does the action and what receives the action. Right? So, in a sentence, you have a subject. The subject does the action. Right? So, the subject is what does the action, and the object is what receives the action. Right?
Okay.
So, okay. So, the doer
So
of the
here,
action,
that the doer of action is described by present participle
yes,
ing.
yes,
The
and the
receiver of the action is described by the past participle ed.
yes. So look at these examples. The star shines.
Yeah.
In this case,
Okay.
the star is the doer of the action.
Okay.
It's shining, right? Therefore,
Yeah.
if we want to use the verb as an adjective, we would use the present participle, the shining
Yeah.
star. Okay.
Okay.
The sun is setting. In this case, the sun is the doer. Therefore, the present participle is used, the setting sun. Okay?
Yeah.
So, the next example is the astronaut has repaired the telescope. Hmm?
Okay. Repaired is the receiver.
No, repaired is the verb. It's the past participle. Right?
Telescope is the receiver.
The telescope is the receiver of the action. Therefore, if we want to use the verb as an adjective, we need to use the past participle, the repaired telescope.
Okay.
Okay. Don't be confused by the passive voice. Can you remind us what the passive voice general structure is, Chaitra?
Oh, sir. No.
Okay. The passive voice general structure is be plus past participle, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So, uh, remember, here we have an example. The sun was destroyed by a comet, right?
Yeah.
So, was destroyed. Was
Was is a
destroyed.
complex.
Be plus past participle. Be forms are is, am, are, was, were, right?
Yeah, sir.
So is, am, are, was, were plus past participle destroyed.
Yeah.
The sun was destroyed. The star is the receiver of the action,
Okay.
even though it is the subject of the sentence.
Yeah.
And therefore, the past participle is the destroyed star.
Okay.
Okay, note in this case it would be very logical to say the destroying comet.
Yeah.
The nebula, next example is the nebula was photographed by the rocket.
Okay.
Is this a passive voice or active voice, Chaitra? The nebula was photographed by the rocket. If
Is
it is,
indirect speech, right?
no, not indirect speech. You
Oh,
must
sorry.
be,
Okay, sorry. I will tell you that this is passive voice. Was
no.
photographed. P plus B. Past participle.
Okay, what is the subject of this sentence? The nebula was photographed by the rocket. What is the subject?
Nebula is object is rocket.
No. That's what. You got it the other way.
Subject, sir?
Subject of this sentence is the rocket. The rocket destroyed the nebula. That is the active voice. Rocket is the subject.
Sir, rocket is the subject. How come, sir, it is in the, at
No,
the
no.
end, right, sir?
Look at what
Oh,
this
okay.
part. You understood? Don't be confused by the passive voice, it says.
Okay.
So the nebula was photographed by the rocket. If you change it into active voice, the rocket did photograph the nebula.
Yeah.
So the rocket is the subject. Okay?
Active voice, it will become subject. In passive voice, subject and object will interchange, right?
Yes. In passive voice, the subject and object are interchanged. So here, the nebula was photographed by the rocket. The rocket photographed the nebula. So the photographing rocket
Okay.
and the photographed nebula.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next page, things to remember about participle adjectives.
Okay.
Participle adjectives are the same as regular adjectives. They must stand before the noun they describe and they must always be singular.
Okay.
The unexplored moons. Okay?
Okay.
Next, past participle adjectives, ed endings can only be made from transitive verbs. Okay, do you at least remember what a transitive verb is?
No, sir.
Okay, so in a sentence like he kicked the football, right?
Okay.
The subject, the action passes over from he to football. The action of kick, it passes over from subject to object.
Okay.
So, kicked is a transitive verb. When action passes over from subject to object, it's called a transitive verb.
Okay.
But in a sentence like the sky is blue, the action doesn't pass over from subject to, there's no object, right? The sky is blue, the action does not pass over. So it's called an intransitive verb,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So I'll read it again. Past participle adjectives, ed endings can only be made from transitive verbs. Verbs that take direct objects. Okay?
Okay.
The difference between transitive and intransitive verbs will be discussed in detail in Unit 3. Right?
Yeah.
Discover is a transitive verb. So the example is discover is a transitive verb.
Okay.
An astronaut discovered a planet.
Okay.
So if you want to use discover as an adjective, you'll say the discovered planet.
Okay.
Explode is an intransitive verb. The star is exploding.
Okay.
So, if you say the star is exploding,
Okay.
and you were to use explode in the past participle, the exploded star,
Is wrong they have written here, sir?
it is wrong because here the star is exploding. The action is
Yeah.
continuing.
So it's like exploding stars.
This action is continuing, exploding. But
Yeah.
if you change it into the past part, exploded, the action is over.
Okay, sir. Now here, if they have given a past participle, we will write past participle only. Like transitive. If it is in past present participle, we will participle only.
So, past participle adjectives, what does it say? 1 minute. past participle adjectives can only be made from transitive verbs, right?
Okay.
Do not include objects in participle adjectives.
Okay, sir. Now I got it. Past participle adjectives made by transitive verbs. Right, sir?
Here, past participle adjectives must be used with transitive verbs.
Okay. Then intransitive for it is intransitives for
No, you should not use past participle adjectives with intransitive verbs.
Okay.
You can use the present participle, the exploding star.
Okay, that is intransitive verbs.
Yeah, for intransitive verbs, you can use the ing form, present participle, exploding star.
Present participle.
No. You see, the star is exploding, right?
Okay.
So here, the star is the subject.
Okay.
It's the doer of the action. So if the subject can be described by a present participle,
Okay.
star, exploding star, right?
Okay.
Okay. Do not include objects in participle adjectives. If the verb has an object, um, the satellite is approaching the planet.
Okay.
The satellite is approaching the planet, right?
Yeah.
So here it is, if the verb has an object. So what is the verb? It is approaching, right? Approach.
Yeah.
So here, do not include objects in participle.
If the verb has an object, do not include objects in participle adjectives. If the verb has an object.
So here the subject is the satellite, the planet is the object, approach is the verb, the tense is present continuous. So what does it say here? Do not include objects in participle adjectives. So we should not say the approaching the planet.
Yeah. Do not include objects in participle.
Do not include objects in participles. So anyway, this sounds like a mistake many Indian students make. Here in this country. See, the approaching the planet satellite.
Oh.
Anyway, we'll come back to this rule, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's not quite clear what it is. Okay. So
Hello, sir.
yeah, 1 minute. I'm trying to understand. So see, do not say the approaching the planet satellite. It says, right?
Yeah.
But what does it mean? Do not include objects in participle adjectives. Okay. So anyway, This is a mistake that many students make here. And see, here do not include objects in participle adjectives, right? So, if I were to use a participle adjective for satellite, I would use the approaching satellite, right?
Yeah.
And if I were to use a participle for the object, I will say the approached planet, right?
Yeah.
So what it says here is, do not include objects in participle adjectives. So actually it says do not say the approaching the planet.
Yeah, sir. The eating the apple. Who will say the eating the apple boy?
No, they say it, no. They say it many times, I've heard it. The eating the apple, the boy. I've heard it actually. Such mistakes. So it's a mistake we must avoid.
The approaching the planet.
No, that's a mistake they make.
Okay, sir. We should not do that. Right.
Okay. Note in these situations you can change that into an adjective clause, right?
Yeah.
And so here the satellite that is approaching the planet. How is that an adjective clause? Can you tell me, Chaitra? The satellite that.
What, sir? Could you repeat, sir?
In these situations, for example, the satellite is approaching the planet. You change it into an.
The approaching satellite.
No.
The approaching planet.
No.
Then what, sir?
See, it says the satellite that is approaching the planet, right?
Okay.
So here, what you have is a noun that is satellite. Okay? Now, the satellite that is approaching the planet, that refers to satellite, right?
Yeah.
So that is approaching the satellite. That is the subject. Is approaching the planet is the predicate.
Okay.
And is approaching is the verb. So it's a dependent clause.
Yeah.
A dependent clause which is describing a noun like satellite. That is an adjective clause.
Okay.
Now, the boy is eating the apple. If you want to put an adjective clause in that, the boy who is eating the apple. Okay. So, the boy is the subject. Who is eating the apple? Okay. Who refers to the boy? It's a subject. Is eating the apple is the predicate.
Okay.
So subject and predicate are there. It's a dependent clause. It is describing boy, so it is an adjective clause. Okay? Okay, last part actually.
Yeah.
Names of the planets. The English names of the planets come from Latin and the Roman names. With the exception of Sedna, all the planets are named after the Roman gods. The names are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and Sedna. Okay. This doesn't, I don't know what this PDF is doing.
Sir, first we had 12, right, sir? 12 planets.
No, we had 9. Now it's 8.
Huh?
Pluto is not a planet.
No, sir. See, sir, word 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 they have given. 2 they have not given, sun and moon.
Sun and moon are not they are not planets.
Then what they are?
They are celestial objects. Sun is a star. It's not a planet.
Is it?
Moon is also not a planet.
The solar system, 9 planets. This is what was that youngsters have been teaching. Teenagers, no teenagers, kids.
So there are only 8 planets. Anyway, we'll stop there for today, Chaitra. I'm sorry about I didn't go through this. I don't know what it is. Okay?
That's okay, sir. No problem. It's actually good.
Okay. So,
Sir, I have PDF. I have saved it.
good. Okay, fine.
Sir, what you have had for breakfast? What do you have had for breakfast?
I have had chapati and alugade palya.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Chaitra.
Sir, sir,